Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 932, and that is in continuation on insecticide and pesticides, and today's topic is pollution caused by pesticides. And this is a very interesting topic, burning topic, and it is very important in the sense that the living things are not safe, they are in danger. And when I say living things, it includes vertebrate, invertebrate, warm-blooded animals, human beings, bird, aquatic animals. And how it happened and why we are having pesticide pollution. The reason is that actually today the global population is around 7.6 billion human beings, that is in 2021 year, and of course to feed very close to 8 billion people was not possible unless we were able to produce millions and millions of tons of food grain. For example, India is having 1.3 billion population, and today we are producing more than 300 million tons of food grain, which used to be only 150, 130 million. So in most of the countries, either in Asia or Europe, the production of food grain, vegetable, fruits has gone to 2 to 3 fold. And it is only possible by improving the agriculture technology, controlled, secure irrigation, and in the meantime in 1940s, the discovery of 46% rich nitrogen synthetic fertilizer that is known as urea. So all these factors together are responsible of boosting the agriculture product. And then the role of pesticides and insecticides came like DDT, VSC. And when we are talking of pesticides, they are mainly two types. One is chlorinated hydrocarbon. That is very important pesticide, that is chlorinated hydrocarbon, and that hydrocarbon may be aliphatic or may be aromatic. And second is organophorous pesticides, compounds. So these two are the main pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. They are controlling all these pests, and we are using them in the form of dust, in the form of spray, in the form of solution, in liquid form. And once they are used, they are going to kill small pests, insects which are harmful to agriculture. But at the same time, they are causing toxicity also, not to human beings, to other animals, to other invertebrate and vertebrate, which are good to our soil and agriculture, like earthworm. There are some bacteria. So once we are using extensively or in large quantity these pesticides, means our soil is affected, its salinity is affected, some microorganisms, earthworm, invertebrates, they are affected because of its toxicity. And also lot of bird species, they feed on soil grains which are fallen. They are drastically reduced because of toxicity, and also it has that impact that it has gone to their genetic defect. Genetic defect means those birds, it goes to their nest, it goes to their eggs, and egg shell became very thin, their RNA, genetic material, their hormones, female and male hormones, they are affected. So overall, their productivity it became less, drastically reduced. And this is the best example I know in India. One class of bird we call Gaura Gauraiya, or we call it generally sparrow. So in 50s, even when in my childhood, 60s in my villages, there were a lot of sparrows. Army of sparrows in every houses. Their nest was there, in villages especially. But today, 90% disappeared. And like that, so many other small birds, they are not there. And it is the impact of also one of the factors of the extensive use of pesticides. So these pesticides, once they are able to enhance drastically the productivity of food grain, so that the hunger is wiped out from world, and globally a lot of production of food grain is there. But at the same time, we cannot ignore the toxicity and the pollution caused by these chemicals, and it's a serious issue today. And I will be discussing one by one these pesticides and herbicides. For example, herbicides. We have two types of herbicide. One herbicide what we are using, we are allowing the plant to starve. So that herbicide will protect plants to prepare its food. That is called photosynthesis. So photosynthetic activity in presence of sunlight is totally damaged because of that chemical. And those chemicals are mostly 2,4-dichlorophenol and then 2,4,5-trichlorophenol. That is known as 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T. These herbicides, they are controlling and they are destroying their photosynthesis, and also they are destroying the xylem and phloem of the plant. And xylem is responsible of transporting the nutrient and water to the plant. So these herbicides, it is destroying selectively some unwanted herbs, but at the same time, they are also affecting the plants or the agriculture products. And mostly these pesticides we are using for cotton crop, rice crop, oil seed crops, some vegetables and fruits. And in traces, the contamination of these pesticides, they have toxicity and they are accumulated slowly in our bodies. Once we are taking such type of food grain like rice or wheat or even fruit and vegetable for 10-15 years, and we are in traces, it is found with all these food materials, they are accumulated in our body, and in the long run it is going to affect our health. And like DDT, BSC, they are carcinogenic also. In the long run, they can produce the abnormal cells, cancer cells. So these are all very, very important factors. We have to look into it, and I will be discussing extensively. Maybe I will deliver up to 6-7 lectures to explain everything, because this is a very important environmental factor, pollution factor, and how it is going to kill and destroy the birds, living organisms. How many minutes? So the same explanation or introduction what I have told you in the beginning is written here, so that the chemistry undergraduate and postgraduate students who are interested in the environmental pollution or pollution caused by insecticides or pesticides can note down. So here, number one, global farmers and agricultural technologies have made tremendous efforts in increasing food production. Even today, because global population is increasing day by day, so still the effort is going on. how to protect the global population not to suffer from hunger, and especially in this coronavirus period that is called COVID-19 disease. A lot of human activities are ceased, lot of agriculture products are drastically reduced, and transportation. So that's why it is a serious challenge globally how to tackle this global hunger, malnutrition. Production during the last 50 years. So within that 50 years, starting from 1960, since the introduction of urea, synthetic organic nitrogenous fertilizer, and that contains the highest percentage of nitrogen, which is very important and required for the growth of plant, and that is around 45% nitrogen. No any other synthetic or natural fertilizer can provide 45-46% nitrogen rather than urea. And because of the urea fertilizer, it was responsible of increasing drastically the food grain production. There has been more than twofold increase in food grain production, and this is largely due to the introduction of high yielding crop varieties. Number 2, fertilizers, assured irrigation, and improved agronomic practices. So agronomic practices are also improved drastically. It is no more conventional or classical. It is mechanized. Lot of harvesters are there, threshers are there, they are all mechanized. And within no time you can do the harvesting, and you can clean, and you can get the food grain. So these are all main factors. However, to exploit the potential of this improved and to ward off pests, to clear the pests, chemical pesticides became essential. So nowadays, to improve the food production, food grain globally, the use of synthetic chemical pesticides or insecticides is essential, is must. Without this, we cannot achieve our target of drastically improving the food production globally. The consumption of chemical pesticides increased to threefold. For example, so globally, to get the target of maximum production of food grain, fruit, vegetables, it has increased to threefold. And I am giving the example of India. In India, in 60s, the use of pesticide was around 2,000 plus tons, and today it is 80,000 plus tons. So you can imagine how much pesticides and insecticides, herbicides, all these chemicals we are using. It has gone from 2,000 tons to 80,000. In India was mere 2,330 tons, that was in 60s, and today it is in 2021. It is 80,040 tons of pesticides. The most of the pesticides are used on crops like cotton, rice, pulses, oilseeds, vegetables and fruits. Number 3, the pesticides are used in houses and agriculture. So we are using for our domestic purpose, and we are using agriculture field. So that's why in both circumstances, we human beings, we are suffering from pesticide pollution, environmental pollution by pesticide, indoor, inside house, as well as in the food grain. To preserve the food grain, we are keeping some tablet of chlorinated hydrocarbon or mercurious derivative, so that the insects should not bite, and then spraying DDT and some chemicals, some chlorinated hydrocarbons inside house to kill the cockroach or mosquitoes, insects. So indoor and outdoor, in both circumstances, we are suffering from pesticide pollution. To eradicate pests and protect stored food grains. They kill many diseases transmitted by insects, rodents and snails, etc. And hence they are immediately beneficial to man. Number 4. Pesticides generally belong to two major groups. When we are talking of pesticides, they are mainly goes to two groups. The first group of pesticides are known as chlorinated hydrocarbon. If I say chlorinated hydrocarbon, it can be aliphatic, open chain, and it can be cyclic. It can be aliphatic, cyclic, as well as it can be aromatic. For example, trichloro hexanol. So if I say trichloro, tetrachloro, dichlorohexanol means it is aliphatic. If I say dichlorophenol, dichlorobenzene, trichlorobenzene, it means they are aromatic. So the chlorinated products, it can be, that hydrocarbon can be cyclic and can be aromatic and can be aliphatic and cyclic. B is, that is organophorous pesticides. They are also important pesticides which are used mainly these derivatives. So your whole pesticide group of synthetic chemicals are either chlorinated derivatives or organophosphorus derivatives. So here, it is my humble request to all the chemistry students, inorganic, organic, analytical, biochemist, they should know about these pesticides, these chemicals, which are causing pollution, and they are also causing health hazard to all living beings, not only to human beings. Go on watching my number of lectures one by one, and also share and subscribe so that automatically you can get, and this is the best platform where I can share my chemistry knowledge. With this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.